Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I said welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast with Andy Ruther and Joe Praino. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the Dirty Sports. What the? Jesus Christ. Okay.
Here we go.
Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I am your struggling host, Andy Ruther, coming from Cincinnati, Ohio. My co-host is coming from somewhere in Colorado, Joey No Chill Praino.
Fort Collins, Colorado.
So we're both struggling today
The struggle is real today.
for different reasons.
I'm in a basement apartment of one of Pizza Staro's childhood friends. Kind enough, shout out Rich, to put us up while we're here for the week, bouncing around Colorado, doing shows and whatever. I'll tell you what, Andy, as a New Yorker, and I know this frustrates a lot of people, that when I do my coastal elite business, but I had some quote unquote New York pizza to close the night last night. It has ruined my life. It wasn't terrible, but it was just, when you eat a couple slices of pizza, you're like, that's not good. And I did the whole thing. I went full everywhere in America except for New York, because like the pizza did not look good. So I was like, give me some of that ranch. I'm gonna do the ranch thing. Throw a little ranch on there. Just a nightmare situation. This pizza's wreaked havoc on my life. And I tried to get up this morning and make coffee. Listen, I'm a fan of the fancy, pour over coffee thing, but I'm pouring it over. The filters aren't good. The filters keep breaking. I'm going back and forth between the thing and the cup. Like, I'm not trying to ruin these people's plumbing. So instead of pouring the coffee the coffee grind, you don't put coffee grinds in a sink. So next thing I know, I'm pouring it down their toilet and flushing it. They're going to come home and be like, did somebody fucking shit coffee grinds? Just an absolute nightmare this morning.
I think I can one-up you.
You got me beat?
I got you beat.
Oh, you're going to come. Just don't come over the top of some baby shit, bro.
Saturday night, I shot myself.
Oh, my God. Andy, how? Midwest Pizza?
No, I, again, got I'm still under the weather. You guys can probably tell. Thursday show, I was feeling bad. Friday, I was feeling terrible. Saturday, I continued to feel terrible, but then got diarrhea. And I mean, it was like, I had it really bad a few months ago, just like that. And it just would not stop. And
you were home.
I was home.
You shit yourself at home.
At home. And here's how it happened.
Yeah. Let's talk about this.
So, struggle bus all Saturday. That was about day 3 or 4 of just feeling like dog shit. I had the little girl with me all day. It's like, how do I not get her sick? Like, mom's working. It's a whole thing. Although I'm like, you probably got me sick. Right. I mean, I'm just gonna say it. Like, these daycares, it's like the Wuhan lab. Like, I don't know what's going on in there, right? So anyway, cut to Saturday night, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try to eat something. And I chose a random couple things to eat. I was like, I'd eaten toast, and it was just running through me. I was like, I'm over toast. So I ate an apple, pretty bland, and unsalted mixed nuts, which are also pretty bland. Thinking like, what are these gonna do? Nope, wrong. Anyway, wrong. Diarrhea, in the bathroom. I'm fine. I'm like, okay, I'm over it. I shower. My butt's just had a full day of just, Hershey squirts. So I shower. More comes out after I shower. That's not cool, right? You're like,
the post shower.
But I'm like, whatever, dude. I cleaned it. I
cleaned it.
I don't know what I'm thinking. I come out of the bathroom after shitting again, Now I'm naked. I'm ready to hop in bed. Oh no, this was it. Sorry, timeline's a little
Oh
little
yeah,
lost here.
that was leading toward a terrible sight. You pooping the bed naked.
Yeah, no. Here's what happened. I shat again, and then like 30 minutes later, I got out of bed and thought I had to shit again, and I sat on the toilet, and it was only farts, and I was like, oh. In my head, I go, okay.
I love when people listen to the show and they're like, they're coming in hot with the shit to open the show.
I'm like, if we're now to the farting stage, you're cleaning it out. And
what the stage we're to is preseason football, baseball, midseason. Let's go. Okay.
So I fart a bunch, and then I think I'm crossing that barrier. As I walk from the bathroom into right before I get into bed, I was like, oh, it's gonna be another fart.
I mean, it's really kind of a dangerous game you're playing dangerous. There with like, I mean, you're sick for 3 days and you're just willy-nilly taking chance on fart. Like, I don't fart not on the toilet if I'm sick like that.
I know. So
it's kind of like the squirrel suit, you know?
I know. I'm standing up. I'm standing upright, buck naked, about to hop in bed, fart, wet. Brittany's asleep.
Wait, you were naked?
Yeah, because I sleep naked. I was about to hop in bed.
So you didn't shit your pants?
No. I shit standing up, buck naked. Never done that before. That's a first. Yeah.
It's like when you take a sick dog out.
So I know. So I was like, okay. She doesn't even wake up, and I go, motherfucker. And then, of course, luckily though, the shower's right there. I'm in our bedroom. I hop right in the shower, wash it off. But again, I think I'm done. Have to diarrhea more.
Andy, it's too much.
And I had the same problems yesterday, but fingers crossed.
Today's the day for a 90-minute pod. How long is the podcast going to be? 45 minutes for safety?
Yeah, no. I mean, so far today,
are we about to have a Q4 2023 where you defecate yourself on the podcast and get married on the podcast? Like this would be we're checking some boxes here.
Well, I'm gonna have to defecate on you, go full Blippy style. So I don't know, man. I'll just say this.
I think you've said enough.
No, I'll just say this. I'm just gonna say this. Isla turns 6 months old tomorrow. I've now had the 2 worst cases of diarrhea for my entire life. I'm 41, going on 42. Yeah. In the 6 months that she's been in this world, I'm
not you're sending your 4-month-old to daycare. The kid is not old enough or prepared physically for the kind of things that happen in the daycare petri dish.
Tell that to all the other babies, man. Yeah, so I
have a feeling if you guys did like a dad meetup for daycare, everybody like, oh yeah, man, I shit myself standing up like 8 times since my first kid was born. You're like, okay.
I did laugh. There was a new dad last week, and he was asking all these questions, and I felt like the meme of where he's about to get hung. What's his name? James Franco. New here?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you're new here to daycare? He's asking all these questions at the daycare providers. I'm like, buddy. Just take it easy. But yeah, long story, obviously, but I shot myself standing upright, so I think I beat you.
Yeah. No, you do beat me. See, we're different kinds of people, Andy. Like, I don't even put my clothes on. I just walk outside and into traffic naked. I'm just like, that's it for me. There's no coming back from this. I'm an adult.
Well, that's what I was trying. That's what I just kept saying. I was like, I shot myself. I'm 41 years old, dead sober. There's a lot of factors.
At
home,
no clothes on.
Like there was a lot of things going on there.
Also, not to continue this for too long, but did you ever consider in your state maybe just like wearing some PJs? Like you're like given everything that was going on. Seems like a dangerous game to play.
Yeah, there was a lot.
Maybe throw on the oversized blouse like Grandpa Joe and Willy Wonka.
Yeah, I made a lot of reckless moves, but sometimes when you're Not feeling well. You don't think logically either. I mean, look, I'm here. We're doing it.
We're doing it.
The show must go on. I'm
I want to shout out a couple of people.
go for it.
I want to shout out Corbin Stoddard for making it out to the show in Boulder last night. Also, I believe it's Liam Gristy. He also made it out to the show. Met up with Corbin Stoddard. That's a name I feel like you've probably seen.
Oh yeah, OG
plenty
Dirtball.
over the years.
Yeah.
Corbin, we should adopt Corbin like the Tuies adopted Michael Oher. Corbin Stoddard is gigantic. Corbin Stoddard looks like he's one of the Jokic brothers. Like he looks like I could live in his pocket. He's a Jolly Green Giant.
He's got a deep voice.
He's a big guy.
Yeah.
Big guy. Came to the show, Nuggets hat. Liam Gristy, I'm assuming is how your last name is pronounced. He came to the show. Yeah, Pete Sestaro chiming in from the side of the room saying Corbin's girlfriend was lovely too. I concur. And they're thinking about making a couples trip to New Orleans for the 1,000th. And she wanted me to specifically put out the call. Are any girlfriends coming? Are there any other girlfriends coming? But also Liam, who wanted to stick around and meet me, but then had to run out. Thank you guys for coming out to what was a super fun Boulder comedy show.
I was just looking at flights, actually. No lie, just an hour ago. Not too bad. Like, I want to pull the trigger this week, to be honest.
Yeah. What days are you looking at?
Probably Friday to Monday.
Yeah. I might go a little early. Just do a little joeing around New Orleans.
Well, I saw something. I saw a terrible. First of all, you made a Michael Oher reference, which we're gonna get to that story, which is wild to me.
Yeah,
absolutely wild. I'll get to that in a minute. But I saw something today. You know how people make these bullshit lists, and I was like, Praino's gonna go nuts when he hears this, because I can't speak on it because I haven't been there. But somebody, USA Today for the win made their all 30 NFL teams ranked edition, they rank them from worst to best.
Stadiums?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do they have the Caesar Superdome 27th?
That's ridiculous.
Wait until you hear what this guy has cuck written all over it. Andrew Joseph. Wait until you hear what he wrote.
Please tell me.
I'm just gonna read. I'm like 20. Like, dude. Anyway.
The thing about the Superdome is it's not new.
Well, yeah.
But there's a lot of stadiums that are not new.
Well, exactly. They have Lambeau's number one. So
yeah.
So this is what it says. The Superdome was an architectural marvel when it first opened, but that was almost 50 years ago. It's a dump now, and no amount of renovation can make it nice, though they are trying. On the other hand, it has one of the best game day atmospheres in the league, and the walkable location in the French Quarter makes for a fun experience. But man, the stadium is so bad. I can't emphasize that enough.
It's really not. It's just, it's not that bad. Like, I've been to a lot worse stadiums. It's not new. And the outside, when you're like walking around outside, is kind of a nightmare. Like, now, listen, I've only been there once. I sat alone. I was trying to meet up with my friends after. I didn't know which way to go out, which way to come in. It's very poorly laid out for all the things you have to do. And like, these days you can't just like open the doors and let everybody in. There's like security and everybody's queued up, and half the doors are closed because blah, 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 blah. But like when you're inside and you're in your seats, or you're even at like in the, like going around the walkways or at the bar areas, like, it's not bad at all. And no doubt about it, the two things that he says positive to me make it jump, so many stadiums I've been to. The game day atmosphere is bananas. The outside the game atmosphere is like, honestly, something I've never really seen from a football stadium. Like, usually football stadiums are so big, the footprint's so big, there's not really like, you don't really have like a Wrigleyville kind of vibe around a football stadium. I'll just say this, dude. I'd prefer, like, there's absolutely no doubt about it that from a structural standpoint or a modern standpoint or all the things that like these new stadiums do so well, like SoFi is like a million times like modern technology better than the Superdome, Jerry World. I mean, these we're truly talking about like modern marvels. I'd rather watch a game at Super Bowl at the Superdome than either of those stadiums.
Yeah. Now, obviously, I haven't been, but I've been to the other two. You said I've been to SoFi. I've been to Jerry World. I can already say I'd rather watch a game in New Orleans because exactly that reason. You said you go in there. It's like you're going into a dungeon, right? Like it's so dark. There's nothing like it.
You feel like it doesn't even feel like a dungeon. It feels like you ever been to like a big club, like you ever been to a club like in Cancun or something like that, or
like Spain or Europe.
Yeah, like a big dance club where it's like the ceiling's so high, so there's room for everybody,
and it's
but
dark.
It also feels small because there's so many people in there.
Yeah,
like the ceiling's dark. You feel like you're in a dance club. You feel like you're in a 70,000 person like discotheque, but instead of a dance floor, there's a football game. And it's like, honestly, I mean, you remember me coming. This isn't. I said this to Corbin last night. It's like, I've sold a lot of things on this show. Like we get aggressive, and one thing I'll say about our show is like I feel like we got to a certain point where we started turning down things. We're like, dude, we can't sell this. We can't sell that thing like realistically to our fans.
Yeah.
I was saying to him last night, like, dude, I'm not overselling New Orleans because we're doing the 1,000th there. We're doing the 1,000th there because it's amazing. And I truly had, I mean, we didn't have a 1,000th episode trip planned when I came back from New Orleans 2 years ago when I went and saw the Giants there. Didn't I come back like, dude, that was one of the best game day experiences I've ever had.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch a game there than at MetLife, for sure. So that's two teams, right? I'd rather watch a game there than the Jerry Dome. I'd rather watch a game there than SoFi. I'm trying to think of like where else I've been to away games. I mean, I know I've been to a few. I'm just trying to think of ones that like really stand. I mean,
like they ranked the Bengal Stadium like 7 spots ahead of this, is what I'm saying.
Like Bengal Stadium was fine.
Sure.
And there was a cool game day atmosphere outside with that like sunken parking lot area that we walked through and all that. But I'd rather watch a game in Superdome than, and honestly, the like outer areas, the like walkways, and then you know how like at Bengal Stadium it spreads to like bar areas.
Yeah,
I'd rather do that a million times over.
Yeah, I know. I thought it was crazy that they would put it 27th, but again, like I don't know who this person is. I just saw it. It's like, it's like some 23-year-old who doesn't know shit. Also, for me personally, the modern, the modern technology, dude, I don't give a shit about that if I'm watching a football game. I just don't.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what? Like, if I'm paying money, because it's not cheap, right? It is not cheap to pay for the game. It's not cheap to pay for food. It's not cheap to pay for drink. If I'm doing that, I'm not gonna be buried in my phone.
Yeah.
Like, why do I care about the technology?
The other thing is, I was talking to folks about the seating, for us for dirt balls, like getting 20 seats or whatever in a row. You're really not going to be able to do that somewhere that's not the 500 level. And it's the one place I've ever been where I'd be like, I bet you this could be fun as shit.
Yeah.
I bet you it's so fun up there.
Sure. So that's December 16th, the podcast and show. And the game would be December 17th?
Correct.
We can get those tickets up this week, you think?
Yeah. In fact, he just sent me a message the other day. I sent him all our write-ups and stuff, and he sent me a message just like, do you have any artwork that's going to go with it? So DJ Sizzle is on the case.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it'll be, I mean, that's late in the season. It could be a lot, those teams could be out of it. Those teams could be in it. Those teams could be, I mean, I expect the Giants. That'll be a big game for the Giants.
Jameis could be starting,
getting a bye. You know,
we see his drills. He's ready to take over Derek Carr with his. Jameis defenders are the craziest out there, man. There's a lot of Jameis. There's so many Jameis defenders. It's pretty wild. And I'm not talking just about his skills. I'm talking about there's a video, for example, where they ask him why he came back, and he's talking about Derek Carr, and he opened up with the Jesus thing, and we're both trying to be men of God and all that bullshit. And how they get along great, and he's giving me all this, and I'm just like, dude.
I just imagine like everybody's version of God, just Jesus sitting up there laying in some like cloud house, and he's like, what's on the docket today? And he's like, children with cancer, fires in Hawaii, 30 interceptions for Jameis. And you're like, man, this God's wilding up there.
Well, that's the thing. Like the interview, I should have pulled the clip, but I don't have it with me. He was basically saying nothing, and you're just like, dude, the reason you stayed there is because nobody wants you, and you wisely took a backup role to get a few $1 million. Yeah, that was smart. Because nobody wants you. But he also was like, I still believe I'm one of the 30 best quarterbacks. Well, dude, you've started 10 games the last 3 years. 10 games, 3 years combined. Like, but then people under that video are like, he's such a team player. He's such a good guy. You're just like, dude, anybody that's ever been charged with multiple sexual assaults or rapes is just not a good person. End of story. End of fucking story.
January 6th of this year, Jameis turns 30. I gotta know.
He turns 30. He's that old.
Yeah, he's born in 1994. I gotta know. We got to keep track of it. Come January 2024, we got to see where Jameis stands in the all-time rankings for a 30-year-old quarterback. Do you remember that was like his fucking thing? The most passing yards ever at 25. Cool. He's played 10 games the last 3 years.
10 games.
And now it's EPA per yard to fucking. You're like, dude, who cares?
What? Yeah, that I know. Of course, I did go to Jameis 101. After that, I was like, what's this knucklehead saying about all this shit? Oh yeah, he's still up to his great spins of, well, if when healthy, cool, dude. He's missed 34. You figure 17, 34 games. So he's missed 50 games, or they played 50 games. He's played 10 of them. You've played 20% of the games. I don't care if you're not healthy. When healthy,
yeah.
I bet Jameis Jameis probably shot himself before too. I bet me and Jameis have that in common.
And Jameis 101 is like, yeah, but that's what he does. He shits himself. He did it on purpose. He loves shit himself. He shows his teammates that he is with them, that they too can shit themselves, and that it is okay. And you're like, dude, are you trying to put a positive spin on him shitting himself?
That's a very winnable division though for them.
100%.
That's a completely up for grabs division,
dude. Derek Carr, like I mean, I only saw highlights. I haven't watched anything. I've seen box scores and I've seen highlights. A lot of people saying, "Oh, Derek Carr looks pretty good." I mean, at this point, if Derek Carr goes to the Saints and plays really, really well, like I'm quitting this podcast and starting like a quarterback scouting service.
Did you see Gruden was down there helping him?
Amazing.
It is pretty fascinating that like Gruden's going down there straight up like with the team. Are they like, I don't think they're paying him.
He doesn't need to get paid.
No, he doesn't need it, but it's almost like a big FU to the NFL as well.
Let me ask you something, and maybe somebody can get us in contact with John Gruden. Why isn't John Gruden doing a Ace Rothstein like gambling / football analyst podcast from like the floor of the Circa casino. Like, why isn't he just showgirls? Welcome everybody to the John Gruden show. And presented by the Spider 2Y Banana Dancers. And they all come out and they fucking.
So he's still in Vegas, right? He's still living there, probably.
I assume.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, like if you look at that division again, it's completely up for grabs. I would say probably not Atlanta, Carolina. You have a rookie quarterback. Bucks, you have Baker Mayfield. I would say the Saints are the favorites to win the division, right?
Yeah, I mean Carolina. Everybody was like on Carolina last year. It was like, ooh, they're like sneaky better than they seem. So we could have a Bryce Young great rookie campaign, but it doesn't feel like it's Atlanta.
His height scares me, man.
You're literally Mr. Russell Wilson. You're literally the Subway sandwich Russell Wilson stand of the century.
Well, I know, and look where we're at right now.
Look where we're at. I know.
I mean, we'll see. That doesn't mean he can't be good, but like, God damn, these guys are all 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", 5'10". These guys are monsters. These O linemen. Which
Russ is getting balls batted down at the line again, and
I mean, look at Baker Mayfield. It's the same problem. Which, talking about these O linemen is a good segue. We got to talk about this Michael Oher story, which I just saw this morning. Yeah, because it just dropped like an hour ago. This is absolutely nuts if true. So Michael Oher, the star from Blind Side, is suing
the inspiration for Blind Side. Didn't play himself.
Yeah. That's what I meant to say.
I love Andy's like doesn't know the blurred lines between them. He's like, he was adopted by Sandra Bullock. No, he wasn't. He was adopted by family, Andy. This is all a movie.
Well, apparently he wasn't even adopted.
Right.
This is fucking nuts. So he petitioned a Tennessee court recently that actually today, allegations that the central element of the story was a lie concocted by the family to enrich themselves at his expense. He filed a 14-page petition today in Shelby County, Tennessee, that the family, the Tuohys, Leah Ann Tuohy, never actually adopted him. Instead, he claims they tricked him into signing a document making him his conservators, which gave them legal authority to make business deals in his name. The petition further alleges that the Tuohys used their power as conservators to strike the deal that paid them and their two birth children millions of dollars in royalties from that Oscar-winning film, which earned more than $300 million, while Oher claims he got nothing for the story. They have continued to call him their adopted son and asserted that throughout their foundation, as well as Leah Ann Tuohy's work as an author and motivational speaker. This reeks of some shady shit.
There's so many layers to this in terms of like the royalties for the movie and the book and all this stuff. And it's like, listen, people often get taken advantage of by lawyers. And, when you have a lawyer that's like doing your deal, they're going to do it in your best interest and screw everybody they can, even if it's quote unquote your other family. But this story has so many layers, but the important one is they never adopted him. What are we talking about here? You had him sign paperwork that he was in a conservatorship with you, but you never actually, this whole thing is a lie. The whole entire thing is based on the premise that you guys adopted him and made him part of your family, and you never actually did that. You're literal monsters.
I mean, you are monsters. So here's the thing, because I was like, how did he not know this? According to the legal filings, Michael Oher discovered this and became embarrassed just in February of this year when he learned that the conservatorship to which he consented on the basis that doing so would make him a member of the Toohey family, in fact, provided him no how do you say that word? Familial relationship. The Deweys did not immediately return the phone calls. No shit, they didn't. So, I mean, and it gets even crazier. According to the legal filing, the movie paid the Tuohys and their 2 birth children each. Why the fuck are those kids getting money? $225,000 plus 2.5% of the film's defined net proceeds. There's a lot of money being made off this. I mean, Sandra Bullock won an Oscar, dude.
Did she win it, or she was nominated? Did she win for that?
Yeah, she won Best Actress.
Wow.
I mean, there's a lot of things.
I mean, Sandra Bullock's not at fault here. Let's leave the great Sandy Bullock out of the mix. She didn't know.
Dude, this is crazy.
Honestly, Sandra Bullock should get involved in that. Sandra Bullock should adopt him.
So, I mean, it seems like he wasn't fully involved in a lot of things. He was playing,
and he was making millions in the NFL. He was a first round pick.
That's what it says. It says the film's success coincided with the start of his NFL career, where he was making money. Or never took the time to fully investigate the deal until he retired in 2016. He hired a lawyer, and it basically says they started just digging on this stuff. And again, like, I don't care what anybody says. Like, he was completely taking advantage. Like, this is ridiculous.
I can't wait for the people who are like, oh, just doesn't appreciate. It's white people took him in, and then he just doesn't appreciate them. That those people are out there.
Yeah, they're idiots.
They're gonna be out there like, oh, this fucking unappreciative fucking piece of shit. That they stole a bunch of money from him. That literally their whole existence is based on the lie. Like the foundation, the motivational speaking, like their whole life is based on a lie that they adopted the kid.
Well, not only that, and I think that's the main thing of his legal argument is, you have nothing without me. Me, I'm the guy who went to Ole Miss. I'm the guy who was drafted in the first round by the Ravens. I played 7 years in the NFL. It's all me. Without me, you don't make a dollar. Because you never. So basically, had he been legally adopted, then he would have had rights to way more of this as a legal family member versus the conservatorship. It's absolutely crazy. Like, and again, if this is all true, these people are absolute monsters.
Yeah.
Because he just learned this 6 months ago. And you guys can say, oh, again, he's an idiot. Dude, he was a fucking teenager.
I just love the Mississippi country club bar where it's just it's like that dude and his wife, Brett Favre. They're like, dude, we took Oher for $14 million. He's like, I bet I put up a fake volleyball court, stole fucking $60 million from Mississippi.
Dude, it's nuts, man, right?
In comes like 5 super church leaders. They're like, you guys think you did a lot? I have a private jet, dude.
I mean, it's absolutely crazy. So this is but he even wrote this in his book. So he wasn't, so he wrote this. He said in his book in 2011, his book, they explained to me, as in the difference, he said there was no difference between adoption and conservatorship. They explained to me that it pretty much means the exact same thing as adoptive parents, but that the laws were just written in a way that took my age into account. Or wrote in his book against his 2011 book, I Beat the Odds. So like he was under the false belief, and why should he be? He trusted these people that, yeah, it was the same thing. He didn't know any better. It's kind of crazy that, you know, it took this long in a way. I do wonder what Sandra Bullock and the whole Hollywood situation's thinking of all this.
I hope we get a statement.
You think they're blindsided by all this? I mean, a blindside within a blindside. Do we have a new movie?
Yeah.
This is like a new movie.
Christopher Nolan's gonna inception us. We have to go deeper. We have to adopt the adopted.
So what's the new movie? The True Story. This seems like a Netflix documentary.
Oh yeah.
I did watch the Donnie Manziel one.
Oh, how was that?
I just don't think Netflix does a good sports one. They don't do them as good.
Yeah.
I watched it Friday when I wasn't feeling good. We stayed at home. We were watching it, and I didn't get anything from it really. Like it just ends. You're like, okay, so he was a partier. He literally burst onto the scene as a redshirt freshman, became the first redshirt freshman to win the Heisman. Never cared. We knew that. Had raw talent. Never did game film. Never.
It's another short king that you were standing back in the day.
That's probably my worst take of all time.
That's an aggressive statement, but
No, it is.
It's up there.
My worst take of all time, I thought Manziel would be good in the NFL.
I mean, I distinctly remember you replying to me about Kobe's killer instinct. Like,
yeah, but this
like overrating Johnny Manziel is one thing, but just the use of the phrase killer instinct to describe why a player is better than another player.
Okay, fair enough.
He just has that killer instinct.
I mean, it's not a terrible documentary. Like it goes in depth on all the stuff he was signing and all the money he was making, and you do forget how big of a celebrity he was, hanging. You know, he was legit hanging with Drake and LeBron, and like he was like that guy. But it just ends. You're just like, okay, so you're in Scottsdale now. No surprise. Like, what are you doing? I think he's 29, 30.
Yeah.
It just like ends. You're just like, cool. It's a short one. I mean, it's a quick hitter. I recommend if you want to watch it, like an hour and a half documentary, not even.
Yeah. It's not a 12-parter. There's not a lot of story to tell.
No, but I also got annoyed. They don't even mention that he's a red shirt, which I knew. I was like, you guys are just going to skip over that he did a full year at A&M and didn't play, which whatever. But I don't know. It's something to watch if you can kill 70 minutes, 80 minutes of your time.
Yeah, I'm good.
It's not nearly as interesting as the Michael Oher or the new Michael Oher remake.
I've heard the Bill Walton. I can't believe I still haven't watched that.
Where's that on?
We might have to do like a live watch. Prize Picks live watch the Bill Walton documentary.
That's hilarious. I poor Bill, man.
Over under times he says throw it down.
This whole situation with the Pac-12.
Poor Bill.
Right? And now you just have these schools, and like Stanford, who has the most, I think they have the most NCAA
sports championships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just kind of like wandering off in the wilderness. Nowhere to go.
Bill Walton's tent is open. He's like, come on down. There's plenty of room in here for all the teams. This is the tent of champions.
Now who's going down?
Welcome to my teepee.
Is that giant tree fitting in his teepee?
Yeah.
Right?
That'd be a great old school ESPN promo. Just Bill Walton and the leftover mascots from the Pac-12 inside his teepee. Listen, big old tree, it's going to be fine. And you, poor little beaver.
And the bear.
Yeah.
And the cougar.
Cougar.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I haven't watched a single preseason game though. Like I'm not even saying I haven't even watched it down.
I don't
Me
participate.
either.
I
As
see
much as
highlights.
as much as I love the NFL guys, like I just can't. These people who are like, it is crazy though, man. Like Twitter just instantly will go boom, 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 the minute these games are on.
Yeah.
People are talking about it. Oh, how did Jordan Love do? You know, in his first game. It's like, well, he started a game before, like I in the actual regular season.
Yeah. He started a couple, didn't he?
At least one. But yeah, I don't know. I can't get into it. Like I just like
What's there to get into? Guys playing against backups and
exactly.
they're like DJ Moore's first snap as a Bear.
Dude, here everybody was like, "Did you see? The Bengals got 64,000 people out for no Burrow, no Chase, no hit, all those guys sat." And I'm like, 64,000 idiots. I'm sorry, guys, you're an idiot. Like you're going to the stadium to not watch Burrow, to not watch the stars, to pay for the same price beer, the same price cheese coney. I just like you're an idiot. And people might be like, "Oh, you're a shitty fan." I think you're an idiot personally. You're an idiot. And then you go talk about it on Twitter. Oh, fucking look how awesome this crowd is. Kind of stupid.
Yeah, I'm not a preseason guy. I've long been not a preseason guy. I've long been a like, if you play literally any starter in the preseason, you're stupid.
Yeah, Colin, if you go to preseason games, I want to hear what you like to see. 310-359-8365. Like, if you're a season ticket holder for your team, are you going to preseason games?
I wonder if we have one guy out there who's just like, all of our worst takes come out. Do you think there's a guy sitting there in a Kirk Cousins jersey with like a Kobe poster on his wall and like bought one of Derek Jeter's gold gloves on eBay for $40,000 and is like, I tour the country going to preseason games? And we're like,
Yeah.
Who are you?
It probably is.
Is it just Shabelli?
I think I've given up on the quarterback, by the way.
Yeah. Andy came out 2 months ago.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, I haven't moved that needle in probably a month on whatever episode 3 I'm on. And now that Hard Knocks is here and the real season's starting, I'm just, it all goes back to like, none of you guys are interesting for me.
Yeah.
None of you guys. You're just not interesting. I don't really care what Kirk Cousins has to say. Mahomes, I think you're awesome on the field. I just don't think you're interesting.
Yeah, 100% agree.
Mariota, you're just like, you're a backup. Like, I don't know. Like, why am I watching this? You better get a better 3 guys next year.
I don't think they're going to. I think it's over.
For real?
Who are they going to get? No one wants to do it. And to run it out there with like, 3 nobodies. Who cares? But I think, you and I are on the same page. I think I made it through 6 episodes. One night I just didn't have anything to do. Me and my girlfriend like literally let 3 episodes play in the background while we were like cleaning the house or whatever.
Yeah. Have you followed this Wander Franco stuff?
Bro. I mean, all the things. Did you see yesterday was giveaway day?
Dude, you talk about everything coming together. So Wander Franco for the Rays is investigated for dating a minor because of social posts. They yank him from the game. A game where the Rays are giving away Wander Franco hats if you're 14 and younger.
And the idea is he's literally possibly dating a girl who's like 14 or 15.
So
dating a girl.
Dating.
Listen.
Did you do a deep dive? I did a deep dive.
Yeah, I get that. It's different countries, different rules, different whatever. But it's like, bro, you're here now. You're not allowed to date children.
So I went to her Instagram. Did you go to her Instagram?
I did not, but I've seen a lot of posts from it.
and I'm not gonna post because it's a minor, but like, there's some photos you're like, okay, yeah, she might be 18. There's some photos you're like, dude, you look 14. And I don't care. The defending it is weird. People been like, oh, she has a kid. Yeah, dude, you can have kids young.
Yeah.
Or, oh, she's drinking vodka. Yeah, dude, the Dominican Republic, probably legal drinking age is like 16.
Right.
Like, I don't care if she's a kid or if she's drinking vodka or if she's dressed sexy. Like, I'll just be honest. Some of these girls nowadays, I don't know if you're 14 or 25.
Right.
Always err on the side of caution. But the photos with them together, like she's wearing a necklace with his number.
Right.
And for this to happen again when they're giving away his hat.
Dude, it's just wild. It seems like, again, we're talking about, the Dominican Republic and this is different and whatever, but it's like, it almost seems like he wasn't hiding it.
He wasn't.
He's just like, yeah, that's my girlfriend.
18 Dominican Republic, age of consent for the record. I mean, it's like,
it's wild for the people who've been listening to this podcast for a long time. My Dominican Republic story.
Oh yeah. She just looks so young, man. Like I remember, let me just put it this way. I'll just say a personal thing real quick. A few years ago, I hooked up a few times with a girl who was like 21, 22. And I was like 38. And she looked young. And I was like, dude, obviously she can drink. But I was like, dude, I don't want to be messing with this girl. She's like, she didn't look like she was a high school kid or anything. But you know what I'm saying? Like, even me, I was like, I'm 38, 39. You're like 22. I don't know, man. I just don't know how I feel about this. And like, this is 30 times worse.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to, like, what do they do if they find out she's, let's say, 16 or younger?
Yeah, I have no idea. I guess he probably gets suspended.
He just signed a fat deal. He's 22, which we don't know how old he really is. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's true.
Right.
Like with these guys from these countries. So he's 22. So he's going to miss the Giants series.
Yeah, I don't think there's any precedent for it. Like, how many
That's
games
what I'm saying.
Do you miss?
What do you do?
Yeah.
Like, what do you do? Okay, so
and also, what is he doing? Does he just immediately start touring with Crystalia in the meantime, like while he's suspended? So is that how he makes his money?
So this is the latest.
He's missing game checks.
The Tampa Bay Rays have placed shortstop Wander Franco on the restricted list, which takes him off the roster and is in most cases unpaid. And a Major League Baseball official tells ESPN this. The league has launched an investigation into social posts from Sunday.
It's a wild.
I mean, they just gave him like $180 million. They made the All-Star game this year. I mean, I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah. Pete Rose is like, no comment.
Back in my day,
you'd sleep with a 15-year-old when you were in a slump.
Dude, it's absolutely nuts. I don't know what they do.
He'll probably be suspended. Like, he'll probably get a 50-game suspension or something like that, which is wild. He's, one of their stars for like.
But a 50 games, like, dude, you're banging a minor.
Yeah.
Like, I think he'll get some leeway that he's not American. and it's a little more loosey-goosey in these countries. I mean, I'm being serious.
Yeah.
I think he will with Major League Baseball. But like the Instagram posts or whatever they were, and him just, he wasn't hiding it.
Right.
That's what makes the whole situation so bizarre. Yeah, I don't know. Did you see what James Harden said today?
I did. I don't really understand where it's coming from, but it was wild, and it was in China, right?
Oh, dude, the irony. So he said this during an Adidas, like, I don't know, some sort of Adidas tour in China.
Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of. Let me say that again. Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of.
All right, so he calls Daryl Morey a liar. I actually like this. This one's a little better because the reaction is the best.
Liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of. Let me say that again. Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of. Thank you, man.
So here's my thing, dude. This is like all prepared, and
It's all prepared. Yeah.
and he's got a million, cameras.
I mean, yeah, it's very clearly obvious that this is his way of getting out of. But then why did you pick up your option?
But no, my point is, we all know the history with Daryl Morey and what he said about China and Tibet.
Right.
So it's like James Harden's saying this purposely in front of an anti-Daryl Morey crowd.
Right.
Repeating it. He's on like it's not a stage, but it's like he's on a stage.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost more than a stage.
Right? There's a million cameras. There's always people there. I don't know. Dude, I wanted to bring up something with all this. It's something like a discussion that I don't think not many people have. Because now he doesn't want to play for the Sixers, right? So he's been on 4 teams. I just, at this point, the common theme that nobody, in my opinion, talks about enough is like James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and Kevin Durant, the original 3 from the Thunder, who played in one finals together with the Thunder when they lost. It's like what could have been. Now it's just team hopping after team hopping after team hopping. Durant has those 2 rings, which, let's be honest, he went to the team with the greatest record of all time. So those are asterisk rings, in my opinion.
Of course, obviously. I mean those are the most asterisk rings of all time across the board.
Right. So the reason I'm bringing this up is, why is no one discussing this weird empty legacy of 3 great players, the quote unquote what could have been with Westbrook, Durant, and Harden, and they all follow this same weird, right? But aren't they all the same? They get unhappy, they want to leave. It's bizarre to me.
It feels like the what could have been is nothing though, right?
Really?
Because when you think about it, it's like they all won MVPs. Like when they were like only Durant and Westbrook played together when Durant got his MVP. Otherwise, Harden with neither of them, Westbrook with neither of them. It's like I hate to bring everything back to LeBron again, but it's like if you're a star and you're a selfish star, you could have however many selfish stars and it's never going to work. Like Luka and Kyrie missed the fucking playoffs this year. And I'm not saying Luka, but like Luka's a ball dominant guy.
Yeah.
You add for sure a selfish star in Kyrie. It's like you can't win if everybody on the team is trying to get their own. I mean, you go back to Kobe and Shaq, man. Like the what could have been there. Think about that. Just Kobe wanted more attention. Kobe wanted more praise. And look how it was undone until he was like, oh shit, I actually can't win a fucking thing by myself. Bring me somebody else. I'll share the load, but like bring me somebody who like will do the job and shut up and not take any of my shine. But arguably be better than me in a final series.
I don't know. I just think these guys, if you like did a checklist, like you're saying, all MVPs, like all great talents, all just team hopping, all get, it's like they get in these zones where they don't feel comfortable and they want to leave. I don't know. It's just the similarities. It's pretty remarkable between these three. And the legacy, which at the time you like when I just remember watching them even before they made the finals, when they were that young team and you were like, this team's going to be real good. They have something, they have potential to be special. And I don't know. It's just like it never happened because of all these reasons. I don't know. It's almost like what if,
But imagine the imagine like what everybody always wants to imagine, like how great it could have been. Imagine how bad it could have been if Russell Westbrook was simultaneously trying to get a triple-double every night while James Harden demanded to be a ball-dominant point guard that takes 40 shots, while Kevin Durant is like tweeting from burner accounts about both of them not passing the ball enough.
Yeah. Well, I think these guys are like the poster child of is more than just talent, right? The intangibles of willing to play, work within a system with your teammate. What's our goal here? Is our goal to win or is our goal to pad our own personal stats?
Like if you look at Russell Westbrook, imagine a Thunder team with Harden and Kevin Durant as your scorers, and Russell Westbrook just goes, Russell Westbrook just wakes up one day and goes, I'm going to break the all-time assist record. That's what could have been. But he's not that guy.
That is fascinating.
Russell Westbrook's probably in the top 20 of assists all time as is.
I think this because here's what's interesting. It's like when you look, he's ninth. When you look, like when you look at the legacy of a guy, the rings really do matter, man. They do, right? That's why we revere so many of these guys. I'm not talking about like Jordan or LeBron. I'm talking about like Scottie Pippen was such a instrumental part. My point of that is of those 6 rings. Like that's why he's a top 25 all time player.
But therein lies like everything that's wrong with these guys is, and I know we have Jordan Stan listeners, but this is a fact. This is a factual statement. Phil Jackson, on the record, on camera, said Scottie Pippen is the best all-around player on the Bulls. You can be whatever type of basketball fan you are, from casual to, insanely prolific and analytical and whatever. Phil Jackson believes Scottie Pippen was the best all-around player on the Bulls. That is inarguable. He believed that. Scottie Pippen didn't demand the ball, the points, the money, the things. It's why that Bulls team was able to win 6 championships, because they had, if Kevin Durant is your Michael Jordan, your Russell Westbrook, or your James Harden, and Scottie Pippen said, I'm going to play this role. I'm going to defend. I'm going to dominate in transition. I'm going to finish. I am going to be the quiet, underpaid, underappreciated second banana to Michael Jordan, even though somebody that people would argue is the greatest coach of all time thinks I am the best all-around player on this team. You could argue Russell Westbrook in his prime was the best all-around player of those three. You could argue that, from running the floor to finishing to scoring and rebounding and assists. But he was like, yeah, that's why I'm the guy. And it's like, dude, but Kevin Durant is the matchup nightmare. He's the guy.
But that's the reason I bring up legacy. I'm thinking I'm already I'm projecting 25 years in the future. It's just what could have been. I know I keep bringing that up versus what people are going to say about these guys.
People will look at them like they're all-time greats because of their statistics, and they'll be wrong.
I just think, like I said, if someone took on that role, the Pippen role, you did have a chance of something special, possibly. But again, now we have these guys in their 30s. Like James Harden, you're 30. What is he? 32, 33? Like, dude, you're not.
I just put this, I put it on Dirty Sports the other day because I haven't been Xing a whole lot. But, this is the Carmelo Anthony thing. It's like somebody, a Knicks Muse tweet, who's the most overrated player of all time? Knicks player of all time. I said, it's Carmelo Anthony. It's without a doubt. And if you go under the original tweet, people say Patrick Ewing. And you're like, are you guys on literal drugs? But I can tell you with 100% certainty, Andy, if we put up a tweet with a poll, who had a better NBA career, Carmelo Anthony or Patrick Ewing, people will vote Carmelo Anthony. Like, Patrick Ewing might win that, but it'll be 55-45.
Yeah, it'd be close.
But Carmelo Anthony, it's not close.
No, I know.
And I replied to somebody who said Patrick Ewing. I think they were saying it, sarcastically. But this is the truth. Patrick Ewing won twice as many playoff games in the 1994 playoffs as Carmelo Anthony won as a New York Knick. In that finals run, Patrick Ewing won 14 playoff games. Carmelo Anthony, in his Knicks career, won 7. 7.
But he didn't care. He never cared. You can tell. I think I firmly believe, I do, looking at some of these athletes, regardless of the sport, if they give a shit about winning titles. And that's fine. If you're there to get paid, look, I'm not trying to judge that. If you just want to get paid, cool. But the fake, Carmelo's searching. No, he's not. At the end of his career, he's not searching for that ring because he never gave a shit.
He's searching for more career points.
And that's how I feel about these three. Are you really searching? You're not. No, you don't give a shit. You just want more money and more points, which is fine. But don't act like, oh, I'm trying to get rings.
But and also, like, this all started with Harden. Like, what is Harden's? I don't know what his play was here. I don't know what his move is here. So he's now not going to be on the 76ers, or he wants the 76ers to get rid of Daryl Morey. He's trying to placate the crowd. He's trying to up his financial possibilities in China. Like, we all agree with this Daryl Morey situation going back. Like, nothing Daryl Morey said is wrong, right? But at the same time, the worst people in sports are the ones that are saying, if you're an NBA athlete and you don't echo those thoughts, then you're a bad person and you're a liar, and now you can't talk about Black Lives Matter and you can't do whatever. Those are truly the worst people in all of sports media. because what the fuck do any of these fucking guys know about it? They certainly know what it's like to grow up in America as a black man. They're like, dude, like you and I could sit here as guys who are pretty well read on, some world affairs, and we're gonna miss the mark on what goes on in China a little bit. Sure. We might get 70% right, but we might get 30% wrong. What the fuck does James Harden know about it? What the fuck does LeBron James know about it? What the fuck, like, with all the shit they have going on, they're not sitting around going, what are the fucking Chinese politics? Also, it's not their fucking job. But like, what is Harden's play here? Is it financial? Is it political? Is it just to get traded or get Morey fired? All three? But like, who's ever advising him to do that is like, what the fuck are you doing, man?
What's the value for James Harden? Like, I'll be honest, Joe. I'm a consumer. You're a consumer. Dude, you're old, man. I'm not saying that you're not terrible, but James Harden and the team doesn't increase the value for me to pay money to see that team. That's all I'm saying.
In that regard, maybe a little. If depends on what team he's joining. Like, I guess if you're on the Rockets or something like that, and you're like, we don't have, but they're building a young team.
Do you see my point? Like, I don't. He just like you're not interesting enough to me as a fan of the game. I know your game. I don't know. It's just like I know James Harden's game. I'm not interested enough to pay if you're the guy.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
But also, I think in the conversation I thought you were starting, which I absolutely agree with, is like, at this point, what team does James Harden put over the top?
Oh, 100%.
Like, that value.
100%. Yeah, that's the other point I was going to make. It's like,
I don't know where that exists anymore.
I don't know. What could have been, guys? I don't know.
Yeah, what could have been, in my opinion, like the story we don't talk about enough is what could have been the most disastrous team of all time. I feel like we always like talk about what could have been in greatness. What could have been is Steven Adams and some other guy literally just like refusing to run the court and being like, "Why? Fuck this." This is what could have been is like the fourth and fifth guy on the team with them sitting down on the floor like they're fucking Richie Tannenbaum on the tennis court, taking their shoes off, being like, "Fine, play around us, you fucking psychopaths."
Let's get to a call that I had missed. A call for you.
A call for me.
A little appreciation call from your boy.
Oh, wow.
From your boy Kyle out in New Jersey. 310-359-8365. That is our hotline. Give us a ring. We'll do this quick hitter, and then we'll keep it light today, given the whole sentiment of our health.
What's going on, boys? Kyle Aronofsky calling back once again from beautiful Toms River, New Jersey, home of the 1998 Little League World Series champions. I had an amazing time last night seeing Joe Praino in Atlantic City, New Jersey, the world's playground. I don't even know what my purpose is on this call, but I just have to tell the dirtballs, go see Joe Praino. Okay, this isn't like a comic on a podcast telling you to go see him just to sell some tickets and, promote his fucking movie about his fake story about the Russian mafia so we can just, abandon his wife and kids for another year. Like, this,
wow.
This guy
shots fired.
takes care of dirtballs. He takes care of the guests. If you're a dirtball at a Joe Praino show, I'm not going to get into specifics. That was a tough one, but he will take care of it. And he's going to put on a great show, even when it's in some shithole fucking hotel in Atlantic City that doesn't even they don't have a slot machine to their name. They really don't. But it's a great time. Go see Joe Praino, and feel like we kind of have to ask a question. So I'm going to ask a question. Who were your comedic inspirations? Ruther, you haven't done comedy since the fucking Obama administration, but
wow.
who are your comedic inspirations, guys? And what are the best comedy shows you've ever been to? Or really, like, if you're in a club, like Praino, like, what's the best comedy show you've ever seen? What is the show that just sticks out to you? Like, oh my God, that was another level of comedy.
Well, first of all, thank you, Kyle, for coming out. Kyle is a longtime friend of the show. Like, Kyle, as a Hall of Famer, has, I want to say years ago, he left the dirt ball atmosphere and he joined, like, Kyle's a friend of mine now, and that's great. And I appreciate that. And I love meeting dirt balls, getting to know dirt balls over time and being able to call them friends. I mean, Kyle has seen me at Stress Factory in New Jersey. He's come to see me at the Stand. I think he came to Gotham one time. I could be wrong about that. But he came in Atlantic City. Kyle's been to some shows, and I appreciate that. And, obviously I took care of Kyle while he was there. We hung in the green room for a bit. We had a couple drinks. Kyle sent some drinks to the stage, which was awesome. And yeah, the show was, it was an Atlantic City non-casino hotel show, but like, we did it, man. We put on, I think I went for an hour and 5 or something like that the night Kyle was there. And I think my stand-up's in a really good place right now, trying to figure out what to do with it, which is a discussion for, my team behind closed doors. But I think it's in a real great place right now. And I think if you come, that you're going to get something real fun. And some dirt balls came out last night. And I've gotten messages from both of them, saying that they had a good time and the show's great. And it's like, I love when fans come out, especially fans of the show who know what I do here, that come out to do a show and to see a show and see me do something else. So shout out to Kyle for coming and all the dirt balls who ever come to see me. I plug my shows at the end of this always, and hope you guys will come and see what I'm working on right now, because at some point we'll have to do something with it, and you'll probably get to see it or hear it, but there's nothing like seeing it in a live club where it's not a controlled environment and anything can happen, and somebody's sending you drinks to the stage and somebody's yelling out and there's a bachelor party there and like the whole thing. So come to a live show. I feel like we've probably both answered this question either on this podcast or on a million podcasts.
It's easy. Carrot Top.
Yeah. But, I never really had I never really thought about doing comedy as a kid or like growing up or anything like that. Like it wasn't something I ever thought I would really do, but I did have comics that I loved growing up. I was obsessed with Eddie Murphy when I was younger. Obsessed. Wore out the tape of his first album before he did Raw and before he did Delirious. Also, both I think amazing. You can go watch those now, and there's some stuff that doesn't age well, but there's also some stuff that is just as funny today. Like, I laugh out loud more at old Eddie Murphy than I do most people who put out comedy today, like by a long shot. Obviously, Letterman is sort of my comedy lighthouse. His style, his delivery, the sarcastic shit, the self-deprecating, the attacking things he doesn't like. My mom came to the same show Kyle came to. They sat just a couple seats across from each other. And my mom goes, "It's all about stuff you don't like." And I'm like, yeah, that's the whole fucking point. Like, why don't you talk about things you do like? I was like, no one wants to hear I love ice cream. Ice cream's delicious. They want the veins popping out of my head as I discuss Taylor Swift. But that, like, Letterman, obviously Norm's delivery and comedy on Weekend Update. Those guys. I loved Richard Pryor, loved Carlin growing up. So many Carlin specials that were great over the years. I think that's probably my, for the guys that really shaped my comedy, it's probably my inspiration, my comedy inspiration Rushmore is probably Eddie Murphy, Letterman, Carlin, Norm. That's probably now those are not my Mount Rushmore of comedians of all time, but they're probably my personal Rushmore in terms of like where my comedy was inspired by.
Well, I don't have a bone in this anymore, as Kyle said. I haven't done comedy.
But now, Andy, are you going to host the stand-up shows in New Orleans?
I don't know.
Really?
Dude, that's a for me to come out of retirement. That's like a big
come out of retirement. I mean, this is all the reasons people have to come to New Orleans.
I'd have to write new material,
but also you could just host.
I could just riff.
Yeah, you could just host. Do a couple Taco Bell classics.
I don't think I've ever done a Taco Bell joke on stage. Taco Bell classics. Only if I can do some OJ jokes. Do some
OJ jokes. No, but this is an official request. Will you host the stand-up portion of our trip in New Orleans?
Maybe.
Pizza Star, I think, is going to come to the trip. He's been featuring for me on the road. I'm trying to Sherpa him through a return to a comedy career. Sounds like Justin Wood, aka Randy Ruther, might come. I'm going to try to get him some guest spots, maybe one of the shows, both of the shows. I'd love to get Andy Lazarus to come down. Maybe he does a guest spot. So like the lineups will be pretty full. And, obviously I could do it. It's like, but I think Andy Ruther, hosting, getting the crowd hyped up and bringing up, it'll essentially be a dirty sports lineup.
Yeah.
You just got to Pete Rose it. You just got to go up there, slap a couple singles, fuck a 15-year-old. Wander Franco's like, it's New Orleans, man. It's okay in New Orleans, right? You could drink in the street.
I'll only host if we can get Jameis there. Can we get Jameis to the show?
Probably. I want to get Eli to the show. I wonder how much he's in New Orleans. But he would have to be there for a Giant Saints weekend, right?
A little coming home, seeing his. Do his parents still live there?
Yeah. That's gonna have to be a dirt ball. We're gonna have to do a dirt ball excursion to Domalice's, the Manning family po' boy spot. Can you imagine a poor little 8-seater po' boy shop and fucking 10 dirt balls roll in together, 15 dirt balls? They're like, what is this? Like, we're the dirt ball fam. We're gonna run. It's crazy. New Orleans is like built for this, and they're still gonna be like, I don't know, man.
Oh yeah, New Orleans is perfect for dirt balls.
You can get parade permits very easily. We should probably have a dirty sports parade.
Kind of play the trombone.
Yeah.
Dirty sports parade. Who's leading that march? You?
Sure.
I would like to do the baton and walk it down. Yeah, I'll just bring Isla. Let's just bring the whole family.
Yeah. Do a parade. Just have a bit. Tebow sucks. Tebow sucks.
What was it? Jesus killed Harambe. That was the one in Cincinnati. Jesus killed Harambe.
That's one of my all-time favorite fucking moments in dirty sports history. Is us just out dueling the fucking Jesus freak at Beer Fest or whatever that was.
Oktoberfest. Those people are assholes, man. When people show up to cities to try to preach their religion, like, fuck you, dude. I'm trying to just enjoy the day. 310-359-8365. That's the hotline. Joe, what you got?
I may or may not be popping into the new talent night tomorrow at Comedy Works in Denver. But if you are a Denver dirtball and that's the only night you can make it, you might want to try it. But if you can make it, and I've been given permission to promote this. I can't tell you where it's happening. That's the whole point of the show. But on Thursday in Denver, I'll be doing the Don't Tell comedy show. If you go to my Instagram, I put up a link tree with all my dates, link in bio. You can click it and you can buy tickets to the Don't Tell comedy show on Thursday. And then you'll get an email the morning of telling you where it is. You won't know the lineup till you get there, but I'm on it. Pete might be on it. So Don't Tell Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Steamboat, Colorado, then back to LA. Some shows coming up in and around in LA that are going to be great and fun. Then we got Giants at Raiders week, October 30th to November 5th, Brad Garrett's Comedy Club at the MGM Signature in Las Vegas. Hopefully my knee is a little healed by then and my Vegas dirt balls out there. Want to play some golf. And then Alaska, Coots in Anchorage, and Everett and Wasilla in November. And then, of course, the 1,000th episode of the Dirty Sports Podcast, followed by 2 Joe Praino headlining shows with special Dirty Sports former guests turned comedic guests, and Andy Ruther hosting and leading a parade with his daughter, getting everybody sick and getting married. I mean, it's going to be the greatest weekend of Andy Ruther history. And we get to go to the Superdome, and you can decide whether or not it's the 27th ranked stadium in football. Dirtball parade, pregame barbecue, tailgate. I'm so fucking stoked for New Orleans. I might go like Tuesday, just like do some Joe stuff. So that I'm
Tuesday.
Bro, I love New Orleans. I really do. I haven't decided if I'm going to go like that early or if I'm going to stay into the next week so that I can have some decompress in New Orleans.
Unreal. All right, guys. That's our show. Thanks for sticking with us. We're back on Thursday. Have a great week. And as always, stay dirty.